Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, Missing the Black, and with the Strat Time Report, let's take a look here. Things starting to deteriorate just a tad here. If we go to the SPY, potentially an outside day. So one of the things we want to be looking for is, because it's a Friday, how are things setting up for next week, right? Certainly we want to see what's going to happen the rest of the day, but the Rev Strat still held here on the weekly, but when you come into a Friday, we're going to be looking for how some of these things aren't closing like that, right? Because we're going to be closing out the month. So far, still an inside month. So they brought them down here a little bit, but it's not everybody. Googs seems to be spooking them quite a bit, but we'll get to that in just a second. You'll notice the list that we keep up in here of things that we're keeping an eye on. And so I want to just touch on one of the things I teach people about the gap list. And what we want to look for is reversals on the 30 and 60 minutes, right? Because that takes plenty of time. Not everybody's going to be on a 5 minute and all that kind of stuff. So if you go to American Express, I'll show you what to look for. Well, here's a 15er right there. Trying to get out, 2215 reversal on that, real nice right there. But if you just stay on the 30s and 60s and you go to the 30 minute, you're going to see this. Now you could have taken this, 2 down, 2 up on the 30 if it was going to go back up, but you scratch it out as soon as it comes back into that range. Then you go short here, right? So what I tell people is you want to look at the 30s and 60, 20 minutes after the hour and 10 minutes before the top of the hour, right? Because that, you can look at to see if the 30 will trigger anything on the 60. So if this works, right, the 2 up, the 2 down 30, right, that would form an inside 60 here, and then you can hit it again on the 2-1-2 reversal there to the downside, right? So you have that initial, oops, you can even go 15, 30s and 60, but you have initial short, and then you have your add right there. Boom, as soon as it takes that inside bar down. If you go to Capital One, inside 60 down, that's directional, 2-1-2, because this was a 2 down. Now it's starting to firm up a bit, but that had also the 30 set up. The inside 30, the 2, 1, 2, and down she goes. So just wanted to point that out to make things a little easier. So SPY, like I said, here, and it's not everybody. So you got your lower lows out of here, and you got your higher highs. So you're just upper level triangle. Now we got a new 60, right, and it's starting to firm up because it's not everybody that's getting hit, right? So that's one of the important things to know is that you want to be watching the internals, right? Is everybody coming down or not, right? And certainly not. But not everything going up either. So you had them starting off, let's go to Qs. Qs were a little weaker, and Qs closer to being an outside day, because what you'll see here is tech is really the weakness. So the problem here is if they really start hitting back through here, you can set up a Rev Strat week, and you got a big week coming up. You know, the Rev Strat week would be below here as of right now, and you got it's below 288.20. You got some distance on that, but we've got big earnings next week. You got Microsoft and Google and Apple and Roku and all that kind of fun stuff. So and we got Fed. So if we go to Dow Jones Diamonds, Dow Jones Diamonds a little stronger once again on these on the flip, the new 60 starting to firm up. Still, all these inside months are going to form out. Holding up a little better. You have a long way to go to be an outside day here, but you are red on the day over there. So conflict because you've got the weeklies up and now the dailies down. So the market's starting to firm up as we expected here. Small cappers still handily inside month. A little bit closer to an outside day, but I don't know if we're going to get that just because you can see that it's not everybody. If you go to like the financials, FAS, it's just kind of sitting there not doing anything now, starting to firm up. And if you go to XLE, here, not selling off at the market, so that kind of stuff. And ITB, home builders, actually still green on the day. So it's not everybody, but what we should see is a little rotation in the defensive names. XLP and XLP trying to go back to the highs. 2 down, reversal 30, inside day to the upside. Still an inside weaker, but we're always watching that internal strength and weakness. What are they doing? Are they rotating into defensive names? Yes, they are. If you go to Colgate, you'll have your 212 inside day back to the upside, and if that works, potentially a hammer on the week. All right, so we'll see how that goes going forward. And cheese catch-up coming up here a little bit on the 2-2 day, 2 down, 2 up. Still tight on the week, but we'll see. I think Molson was coming up. Tap, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, not totally going gangbusters, but not getting killed either, and that's the important part when you're looking for the broader averages, if they're really going to hit them. That'd be something I'd want to know about. If they take them all down, when you see all 11 sectors are down, we're going lower. We're not seeing that. So we go to. So we got to go down the food chain a little bit here on the real upside, but if we go to TRHC. TRHC, little guy, coming up through here, and look at that. Rev Strat weaker, coming back through all this kind of stuff. Let's move that month up a little bit. Trying to go to that 3 month or equal tick. That's 212 on the month. Just running out a month. We'll see if anything more comes of that, and you just wait for him to triangulate out. And then, she goes. If we go to PGY. And you can see yesterday, boom, pivot machine gun through these guys, and then, or 2 days ago, and then the inside day and then the measured move. Just kind of stuck up in here now. We'll see if that sets up again. Here, potential Rev Strat 60. 1, 2 down. So either going to go take all that stuff out, or next hour, the highs of this is something I'd want to know about. But you're up, sideways, measured move, and then some. Real nice over there. If you go to HKD, HKD, sure. Rev Strat day. 1, 2, boom, and off she goes. Real nice runner there. This is Momo Hammer on the 60, and what triggered that, once again, when you look at all of them, the 3-1-2-30, boom, and off she goes. So HKD shenaniganer. UFPI. Okay, they're starting to back off here a little bit again. Broader averages. UFPI, just slowly but surely, and then boom. So this thing taking this out, 2 down, 2 up on the month, right? And reverse this, right? Slight lower low, boom. Triangle these guys out. So I don't know how much more she's got left in the tank, but we'll see. Inside 60 right now, pokes up a little bit, but then comes right back in. PSX and the refiners. Just taking out yesterday's highs, and not everybody can say that. And it's still 2-2 on the week and green on the month. So you could have, anytime that 60 stays green, you got full time frame continuity to the upside, and the 2 down, 2 up reversal day. Right now, SPY's stalling out on the 5ers here. So we'll see if right here tries to come up and now stalls out on the 5er if they want to take these things lower. We'll see. How's that 15er looking? All right, well, we got some time on that, but we'll see how that goes. If we go to the downside, Google's really the one that's spooking them. And Google earnings come out next Tuesday, but Google's kind of spooking them because Google's one of the few inside weeks to the downside, right? And it's been selling all day. There's a nice opening 15er right there for you. Go to, and the 60 just kind of plunged. Yeah, it's called the Momo Shooter, right? So anybody who tried to bottom pick this thing and had all their stops right here and ran into real sellers because you're taking the weekend down, got crushed right here. You can hit that right there, right? So Goog really spooking them. And that gives you all the big boys too. Meta, buddy. Meta, also Momo shoots 60 down, 2 up, 2 down reversal on the day. And like I said, when you come into a Friday and you had a lot of inside weeks to the upside and you start to sell, potential Rev Strat weaker next week. So obviously earnings there too, so we'll see how that goes. If we go to Microsoft, and Microsoft, potential outside day here, and that would be a 3-3, I believe. Still handily an inside week with the earnings coming out and inside month, so not too much going on there, but some nice movement around in here to keep an eye on. It had a nice 30 here, inside and down off the 30 right there for Microsoft once they started hitting the tech. If we go to Intel, and Intel takes the inside day down, so I put SMH in there, potential shooter here in a week, but I put SMH in there even though it's still inside day just because a lot of tech was getting hit, and so we might get some acceleration on some selling in the tech if you can take that out. and that would be 226.28. If we can take that out, we might get some more acceleration out of those guys, and that tells you NVIDIA here is already a 2-2 reversal on the day. Once again, if that really backs off, you can get set up that rev strat here, and now it's inside on the 30. If we go to Roku, earnings coming out next Thursday. Roku, 2 up, 2 down reversal on the day, and that's setting up rev strat weaker here too, so you want to be real aware of that. Visa and MA coming in. Visa, potential 3-day here, and you can see that nice 30 right there. How's the 60 doing? And I don't know if that was 60 or not. And MA also backing off a bit here, potential outside day, so we'll see if that goes. The broader averages still just kind of firming up. You got Shop here, also the 2 up, 2 down reversal, right? And it's got some distance for a rev strat, but we'll see how that goes. If we go to AFRM, 2 up, 2 down reversal, and if that works, potential rev strat weaker here if they take that out, because it tried to take that month and now backs off, so you'd have a 2-month inside pattern depending on how we finish off the month next week. AMN getting clobbered. There's another pivot machine to the downside, so it takes all these guys out. You see that? Anybody who stopped on against any of this, it took them all out. Now just stuck here on the inside 60, but that gives you that outside weaker. If we go to China, BABA, inside day to the downside, still handily the inside weak, but be closer to an inside weak to the downside, right? And potential, the 2 up, 2 down month are coming into August right now. Still falling off the cliff, and here's a nice 30 here, BABA, for you. Inside 30, inside 30, and the kicking pattern 30 to open the day. And that tells us maybe look at Baidu. And Baidu, nice 30 there, 2 up, 2 down. Still handling inside week, so back and forth we go, and still handling inside month over there. I think JD getting hit here as well. Yep, JD with the 2 up, 2 down. Billy, 2 up, 2 down, rev strat day. All right, so a lot of China getting hit. Figure the LI. Oof, outside weaker, inside month, but going out towards the lows of the month, and you can see this right now, inside 30 to the downside. AF, oh, we already did that. Yeah, we had some of the opening up trades, airlines still puking. That's setting up the 2 up, 2 down problem for the weekly, and the airlines and wind resources coming in. Here a little bit for an outside weaker. EXPE here a little bit, trying to be an outside day, not too much. So other ones that are looking close to the rev strat weakers for next week, Riven inside week, pokes up shooter. Outside day, it already hit that. There was a nice inside 30 for you right there. Market's starting to back off a little bit. You got DoorDash, also potential rev strat week for next week. Nice group of 30s there, huh? W. Ooh, nice rev strat 30 here. Inside 30, up, boom. And if that works, ooh, the inside 60 down combo on the 2-2 reversal day, setting up the rev strat weaker. So next week we have Microsoft, we have Apple, we have Google, we got the Fed on Wednesday. So all that kind of fun stuff coming. So we'll see if this tech can really start to spook more of these guys, more of these other sectors as we get into the afternoon. But for right now, it's pretty much tech heavy, and we'll go back to the SPY. And SPY right now would be a 60, but backing off. Once in a while we watch the internals, we watch all this kind of stuff. The 15er to see if it goes 2 up, 2 down right now. So I hope everybody had a great week and has an even better weekend. I'm Rob Smith, Smith the Black, Strat Time Report.